Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Wanted to thank you for stopping by the Jury by BDK YouTube channel. I know you didn't come here for a sermon. So here's the video, and we'll talk soon.
Well, hey family, this is Darlene stopping by real quick. I'm still working on bracelets. I got a lot of bracelets to make because I'm working on bulk, working on bulk to sell wholesale. What I did with some of these yellow beads is I went ahead and polka dotted them. So I added a little paint, just kind of polka dotted some yellow ones, and then went ahead and used some of those little cap beads and another little spacer, and then added some different colored beads on here to give it a nice little different look. Something real pretty. Cute, simple, lightweight, easy to wear. Really pretty. So I am working on these. I only painted enough of the yellow beads, like polka dotted them, enough to get four of these bracelets. And I might do some more painting for the small beads just to, put some polka dots and stuff. So that's what I was doing, finishing out finishing out some more bracelets and finishing out some bracelets. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get, shoot, I don't know, like maybe another 25 or 30 made tonight. It is still fairly early. It's only 7:30 where I am. So I should be able to get a nice number of them, nice number of them made. I did take a break earlier, to do some other stuff. And this is what this looks like right here. So we're going to go ahead and start with a little 8mm beads. And somebody was asking me like the sizes of the bracelets, and I don't use the beading board. I don't use the beading board because I pretty much know how many beads to use per necklace. I mean, per bracelet. So with the 8mm bracelets, they'll fit a size 6.5 if a person puts other bracelets on with the bracelet that I make. So they can stack the bracelets. So it'll be 6.5 up to an 8.5 wrist size. And then most wrist sizes are average sizes, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. You start getting into bigger wrists, the fuller a person is. And by then you pretty much already know how many beads you can use. So if it's an 8mm bead, I usually use about 30 beads. And then that depends on how many spacers I use. So when I do a bracelet using 10mm, that's between 22 and maybe 24 beads. And again, that depends on if I'm using spacers, right? And that still comes out to be about the same size, to fit the wrist size about the same. Because remember, the bigger the bead is, the less beads you have to use in order to make that bracelet, which is pretty much will fit the same size wrist. And if it's like a 12mm bead, that's less beads. That's maybe 15 to maybe 18 beads. And then that depends if I'm using spacers and what size spacers that they are. So when you make enough of them, you pretty much already know how many beads it takes to make a bracelet within a certain wrist size. So, and I'm sure people that have been making bracelets and stuff, they may know something different from what I'm talking about right now, but that works for me. And I've sold a lot of bracelets, so I haven't had a problem, with sizing or wrists or anything. And about wrist being a little bit bigger, I do know that part from being out selling with people with bigger, thicker wrists, that they do, need a bead or two more depending on the size, the size of the beads. But that's why I don't be using the board, because I just pretty much got it down, And I'm not against people using bead boards at all. I think it looks jazzy, it looks professional, and if that's what people want to do, that's what people want to do. My whole thing is, I think I've said that in a number of videos. If I don't need it like that, I'm not buying it. I'm not spending money on stuff like that. I'm just not doing it. 245. Especially if I've made enough bracelets and sold enough bracelets to know that what I'm doing and what the way I've been doing it has worked, there is no reason for me to backtrack and go buy a bead board. It that just don't work for me. You know, to me, it just don't make a sense. 3, 4, 5, and just remember the whole system is set up for us to keep spending money. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. The whole system and everything is set up, you know, to keep us spending money. And I do know sometimes I go through here and I watch different videos, and I believe this. I got a suspicious mind anyway. I just be thinking sometimes that some of these people are sponsored, and they're not telling you that they sponsored, you know, because they hold everything is why would you, and you're this big old channel, but you won't, but you're hollering out a certain brand, and you'll say the certain brand name a couple of times throughout the video, but you won't say that you're sponsored, you know, by that particular brand or business or something. And I'm like, nah. And usually when people are not sponsored, they'll say that this is not a sponsored video. You know, they'll say that quickly. But sometimes I could watch some videos and I'm like, they sponsored. And that's all objective all the way across the board, is to get us to keep spending money, is for us to get emotional, eat up a bunch of stuff, and then go shop. Why do you think they always be keeping all these wars and all these little different things on the news that provoke emotion, and, you know, have people all stressed out and full of anxiety and all this other kind of stuff? Because they know people are going to jump in their cars, or Uber or DoorDash and eat, or just spend to make themselves feel better. That's all. How you think all these companies stay in business? Triggering our emotions. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. I like the way these colors are mixed in too. These are mixed really pretty. I really like these. But anyway, that was just me going off on a little rant real quick. Because the way stuff is set up, everything is set up for us to spend money. If you watch television, even when you sit there watching television, and I think I said that a couple of times too, maybe more than once in these videos, that I don't have a television in my home. I don't watch television. Haven't watched television for years. I do stream some things, and my whole thing is audiobooks, documentaries, um, business, like anything I can learn from. I just can't see giving something 2, 3, 4 hours that doesn't benefit me in no way, you know, or doesn't help me to develop and become a better person in some type of way. I just can't. I hope I'm never, you know, like that. But that's even like commercials, even like YouTube. YouTube got a whole bunch of commercials. Like everything has commercials. Everything is, you know, like to sell us something. Everything is to sell us something. Everything is to sell us something. One of these streaming programs, which one was it? Was it Hulu? I had Hulu and I canceled Hulu. I canceled Hulu because Hulu had a lot of medicine commercials, or maybe it was just me seeing those. Anybody else see that on Hulu? So every time I looked up, whenever the program, which more so was like a movie or something, or I like American Greed, American Greed, or Dateline, or something like that, right? Every time I look up, it was a commercial, but it was something about medicine, and I'm like, see, they'll have people thinking something wrong with them. All these different commercials. Anyway, this is this one. I only got enough to make 4 of these, and I think I'm gonna just go ahead and stick with the 4. I'm gonna probably dot up some more of these beads, because I do like the way they look. Very simple, really pretty, easy to make. I'm loving all the color. Don't this look like a bowl of tricks? I don't know if anybody ever used to eat tricks. We used to love us some tricks when we was growing up. My mother kept us boxes, the big boxes, family size boxes of tricks, because we used to love us some tricks. We used to use a lot of tricks, shredded wheat. Oh my God, what else did she used to buy? Tricks, shredded wheat, raisin bran, frosted flakes, or cornflakes. She didn't buy a bunch of sugary syrup. My mother never did that. Like a bunch of sugary stuff in her house. She never did that. I never did that either. A bunch of sugary stuff. She never was like that. Ice cream, cookies, juices, and stuff. She never did that stuff. And she was a cooker. She would always cook, and there would be times, we would go at the time. I guess KFC was like like the main restaurant that everybody. I'm just talking the main restaurant that everybody used to go to. So we would go get our little buckets of chicken, and it would come with the mashed potatoes and the biscuits, and you get your little gravy and whatever else that was. It would either be KFC, and then there was a restaurant called Keeps, and we used to go to Keeps, where you go in and sit down and eat. And I remember the one time, I don't know if it was my first time remembering going there, but after I had ate my food, I was like, I want some more food. I'm still hungry. She said, you want some more food? You're still hungry. But I was still hungry. I was like, I want some more food. But remember, we were used to getting seconds if we wanted it, because my mother always cooked. So she said, well, no, you can't have seconds. We would have to pay for that. I'll get you something when we get home. I'm like, well, what? And I didn't understand it was a restaurant. And we was used to eating. If we wanted a second plate, we got us a second plate. That's all there was. There ain't no more. These are really pretty. What you guys think? I really like these with the little dots. I think I'm gonna go ahead and polka dot some more. And I may just polka dot enough to make them full bracelets. I like the way these look. Yeah, but she never bought all them sweets and stuff. That's one thing. And she used to always say that my kids ain't gonna be walking around here with bad hair or bad hair or an ugly mouth. It's like, ooh, we Miss Johnson. She would do our little hair routine every Saturday. Every Saturday, she kept her hair in braids, big braids. Kept our hair in braids. She would take it down, brush through it, wash it, condition it, do all that. Uh, Grease our scalp, and then she put some more big braids back in our hair. She said, I'm not going to have no ugly kids with bad hair and bad teeth. When she said the bad teeth, she meant like, from sweets and sugars and stuff. So she did a good job. I know she used to ask her that before she passed away. Was she a good mom? Yeah, she was a good mom. Shoot. She was a real good mom. Never let us spend a night nowhere, none of that kind of stuff. But she was the coolest one ever. Smart lady, too. Very sharp, real smart. Always working, stayed on her grind. But these are really pretty. I really like these. But anyway, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to make some more bracelets. I'm going to try to get another maybe 20, 25, maybe 30 done. Depends on how I feel. I got an audio book here. I'm going to be listening to the audio book. So if I come back with a video and ain't no sound in it, y'all know why. Okay. But anyway, guess what, family? We'll talk.